Hey, Sheldon McDonald here. Here's a little update on Coco CAD using the Sega mouse and the Coco PSG. So I figured out where I could put the driver. Mind you, this is only going to work on a color computer 1 or 2 with 64K RAM. I actually put the mouse driver exactly where the basic RAM chip is. Since it's IRQ driven, I have a very tiny chunk of code that's in general purpose RAM that switches memory banks, jumps over to 8000 hex, and runs the driver, returns back, flips the memory switch, and goes back to basic. But anyways, that seemed to work pretty good for Coco CAD. Anyways, so now I can actually properly demonstrate how sensitive and what kind of accuracy you can get with a real mouse versus the joystick. So now again we're using the Sega mouse. If I need to get over to this somewhere fast, I mean you move the mouse faster, right? If you need precision, you move it a little bit, right? Let's try this thing out. Let's see how accurate this thing can really be. So let's draw a little box here. Get it right on that point. Oh, I missed it a little bit, but that's okay. I seen that it was there, so I'll just go inside just a little. I'm going to make a perfect box inside of there. Oops, I kind of missed it a little bit. There we go, not bad. Let me try that again. I'll do a better job. So we'll get that grid point to another grid point. Okay, I'm going to get another one just on the inside of it. You wouldn't be able to do this with a joystick. This is... dang it, I just missed it. That would have worked though. It's mainly just the lag of this actually being a basic program, I think. But that's okay. I'll get it this time. And then I missed it on the Y. That's okay. Anyway, we're seeing that this works pretty good. Now we got like way better precision, way easier to hit these previous and next buttons, that's for dang sure. You gotta love that. Let's use that one. Yeah, look at the precision there. Pretty damn cool. Yep, just a little over. I missed it. It was there, but that's okay. What else we got? Let's try to draw a line. So I'm going to go from this corner right to this corner. Don't know that tool is actually working properly. It seems to go by the nearest, it's not using my center points. Yeah, see, it went to the top of that. I'll have to look at the code behind that, but I can fix that. Text, I think text was good. I tried a little bit there. Try it right on one line above. There we go. Yo. Cool. Let's go to this next page. Actually, this one's the eraser, I think. Very nice. So that works. What's on the next page? We got some copy tools, page tools, saving, and quitting. Okay. Cool. Very cool. But yeah, much nicer to use with the mouse. That's for dang sure. I'm going to fix this line though. Doesn't seem to go where it's supposed to go because it looks like it's going to about there. Yeah. So it's just the, it has the first point correct by the looks of it. Let me just verify that. Yeah, first point's good. The second point's garbage. It needs to move Y down about 3 pixels or whatever. Anyways, cool. Thanks for checking that out. The driver. Let's talk about the driver. Where's this sucker sitting? So, what I've done, this is the actual driver. I have it sitting at 8,000, which is at, again, that's where the basic ROM chips start. So it's got all that code there. So what I did was I saved that. Okay, and then I compiled it. I compiled it without a header, and then I loaded it back in as data. So let's look at this one here. Now I've got my injector. This code will install that ROM at 8,000. Okay, so this little injector will get overwritten after you start loading basic programs in. So I just have it originating at 4,000, which is fine. This is my program I just showed you. So it dumps that in at 8,000. That's all that one's meant to do. Then it returns to basic. And then the final file is the actual driver. It's, well, not the actual driver, but the actual IRQ routine. This is all it is. So I have this originating just underneath, like I had to move a little bit of memory for Coco CAD, so I just shoved it just underneath where all of it stores all of its page data. And that's all it's doing is grabbing the original IRQ and storing it, and then it puts our new one in, mouse on, and stores that, and then turns the IRQ back on and returns to basic. Now the mouse on code, when an IRQ is triggered, it jumps here. First thing it does is does the RAM switch, and then it jumps to 8,000. So rather than it running one of the basic ROMs, I've actually got code sitting there in RAM. This switch needs to be triggered in order to read the RAM. This will probably destroy BASIC for the Color Computer 3 because it actually runs in RAM mode with BASIC copied, but it still has the ROM there as well. So maybe it won't completely destroy everything, but I'm sure all your Color Computer 3 BASIC commands will be dead with this one. So anyways, it jumps to that routine that got injected into RAM. We acknowledge the IRQ. We flip the RAM switch back, and then we jump to release, which was the original IRQ code. And that's it. A very, very tiny program. So on this end, really all you're doing, I'm just going to load this up, drive 0, test. Okay, so first thing I'm doing is load M. I'm loading Sega MD. That's my mouse driver. Execute. So what that code just did is it injected the driver at 8,000. Okay, there's still no IRQ present. So now I'm going to load sega D, okay, and execute that. Now there is an IRQ present. So now I'm going to load coco CAD. Okay, I'm going to list off line 10. So I altered line 10 to say, to change that memory address, because that's where the mouse driver starts. But if you look at this code, anything after, I think it's 4FF, anything after that is the actual pages of memory that this program uses for drawing. So it was complicated to put this driver that I made into the high memory area without screwing something up. So I managed to just squeeze it in between that and the program. So I just put it in there. It's not many bytes like I showed you. It's a really small routine to just flip the memory bank and jump into where the ROM usually sits and run my little mouse driver, and then it returns. I also had to make one more change. I believe it's, yes, right there. So list line 30. List 30. No, list 20. So I changed it so it reads the actual joystick memory locations, because the IRQ mouse driver dumps values into those places. Okay, and then I'm using 15C as the mouse click, and 15D. So 15D would be the second mouse button, and 15C is the first mouse button. And just to make this code really easy to put in here so I didn't have to make many changes, I just had to go that value times 3 and then do some little tiny modifications in the testing. All right, and that was that. Having an IRQ driver, you cannot use the sound commands and you cannot use the play commands. So the original lockups I was having on coco CAD was basically from it playing noises when you click on buttons. So I just had to remove those. So I just removed all the play commands. Okay, we'd have to probably make a new setup for that. But now you can see my mouse driver is absolutely doing something. Yeah. Cool. I actually really like using this software. I would actually like to just play around and put some custom drawing things in here. It'd be kind of fun to play around with and draw some stuff. When I was younger, I used to just do little animations and stuff with this program. Yeah. And now we have the ability to use this with precision, which is really cool. Yeah. Look at that. With the original joystick, I mean, it'd be very difficult to draw. Well, you wouldn't be able to draw like this. You'd have to. I think you're restricted to each one of those grid coordinates because it jumps. It only gives you 60. What is it? 64 readings basically. So, yeah. Anyways, if you got the Coco VGA, I mean, you got the advantage of, flipping the screen over so it's just black and white, just like that. So it's pixel perfect now, without the artifacts showing up, unless if you want them to show up. But it's a lot easier to read text and stuff this way, that's for dang sure, thanks to the Coco VGA. Cool. If anyone's interested in this, I'll release the disc for this for people to play around with. Awesome. Thanks for watching.